Hello guys, Omni here. I just got back from seeing Brightburn, and I have to say that I was pleasantly surprised. This movie is not flawless. However, I really had a good time, and I think that overall, this movie really achieved what it set out to do. This was a very good twist on the classic Superman origin story, and seeing a character, a child no less, with these abilities go rogue and go above and beyond, and in some really brutal and creative kills. This movie does not shy away from the gore. There are some really cringe-worthy moments, and that's not like cringy like embarrassment. It's cringy as in it's kind of hard to watch some of the gore at some points. They do a lot of this in this movie effectively with such a low budget that you would see for anything that would involve these kinds of effects, and they pull off pretty much everything. Looks great for the most part throughout the entirety of this film. And the weight of this movie is carried very strongly by the two parent characters. Elizabeth Banks is definitely the strongest performance in this film, and she carries this movie. You really, the kid himself doesn't have very much of an emotional range, and I think they play into that because of his alien physiology, as we know from the trailers and all of that, and of course the Superman backstory that he's of course not from this earth. And with this take, he's a little detached, and you kind of get that feeling throughout. And he definitely, there's something off about him when we're at least introduced to him. But the kid's not really a distraction. I think he really plays that type of character very well. The husband, very great performance. And I really think that at least our primary core cast all do really well. And for this type of film, there are some jump scares. There are some horror tropes that pop up their ugly heads into this. However, it still does a really effective way of building up tension in these scenes without like an orchestral sting or anything like that. It's just coming in, was like, oh, you better be scared. Not like I said, there are some jump scares, but it only does that the classic annoying loud sting of a jump scare maybe like once or twice that I can recall. The rest of it is, I think, very effectively done, but overall does amazing job at building tension. And there's, like I said, all of these scenes, actually a lot of this story is very creative, and I'd really love to see them like take this kind of approach with some of the other classic superhero origins that they do, and maybe build like an evil Justice League. Now, I'm not going to go into any spoilers outside of what we see in the trailers, but stick around as the credits start to roll. There's a little bit that plays in after the fact, after the events of the movie, that opens up some possibilities. I'm not going to say anything, of course, but yeah, overall, really satisfying movie. Like I said, because of the flaws, the inconsistencies in the plot, and the kind of the continuity that they set for themselves, as well as like, I really would like to understand more of the rules. And I know that the characters themselves don't really know them, but some of the things that kind of instigate these chain of events isn't clearly explained, and it seems inconsistent throughout the film. So I really wish we kind of would have got a little more lore, a little more backstory, or at least insight into the psychology of our primary antagonist. So it's a little hard to get into that headspace, but I think that's not the journey. I think we're really meant to be on following this journey through the parents' eyes, and it makes it a little harder to like jive with what's going on to me when we don't really understand how this world works, or at least how his physiology really works. It's like I said, inconsistent, but despite all of that, I think it's a strong enough film. I don't think it really went out of its way or was trying to be like this like head turner, except for the fact that it just wanted to make an evil Superman, and they did that. And it executed that very, very well. I think overall as a film, this is probably a B-. I think overall, considering like how the cinematography was, the acting overall, but that, like I said, that inconsistent plot and narrative kind of got into play a little bit and kind of muddied it down just a little. But other than that, solid film. I definitely would check it out over some of the other films coming out around this time. I don't know that I would recommend it over, say, like something like John Wick. That's about all I can really say about this film without really spoiling anything. And I do think that, you know, especially for a superhero fan or a horror fan, this is definitely, I would say, a must see. It may not fulfill all of your needs in either category, but it is an interesting thing to visualize, because I think all of us have thought about what if that superhero has gone rogue, and in the comics themselves, they've played around with that idea as well. But seeing it in live action and on the big screen has always been something I've been curious about, and I'm surprised that they were able to get that this is something that we can actually go to the theater and see. So in that respect, I got to give it an endorsement. But yeah, I'm really going to leave this up to you guys. Let me know if you've seen it. What did you think about the movie? Leave your thoughts in the comments down below, and we'll have a conversation after the video. And make sure, if you like this video, to like, comment, subscribe, support the channel, and I will catch you guys in the next video. Take care, everybody.